Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Ranked Review. I appreciate all the love from the first video in the series. If you have any feedback for what you'd prefer to watch, just let me know. I'm open to whatever seems most valuable for you. So on the left, you'll see our MMR from the first session, 2524.1, and on the right, you'll see our MMR from the most recent session, 2550.2, so a net gain of 26.1. Pretty solid MMR bump. We did drop a set, but that's going to happen. We can't only queue up Slippy rank during a super major weekend, so it's bound to happen. So for our first clip or series of clips, we've got Falco Puff. And before we even look at the clips, I just wanted to mention and give you a picture of what the session looked like as a whole. The very first set of the 10-game session I played, I lost, actually. So it's pretty easy, I think, to lose your very first rank session, instantly go into tilt, and be like, oh, this is going to be one of those. I'm already down, like, negative 40 points or whatever. But that's its own challenge, that's its own obstacle that you have to learn to overcome and get better at, improve at playing from those positions, both, like, in tournament, for example, like you go to losers and now you have to play from losers, but it's also its own obstacle mentally to sort of overcome. Like you have to fight that tilt and learn to play through it, and even try to play better than you were playing previously in the tournament or in the rank session. So being that our first match of the day was a Jigglypuff, that can be a challenge in its own right too. I went pretty much all week without playing much melee into queuing up ranked and instantly running into a really good Jigglypuff. I believe this is OG Kid. And so, not only going from not playing melee into playing a good player, but also like the matchup specifically can be really, it can be tough to like shift gears and instantly engage yourself, because the matchup itself is, I don't know how to say this nicely, but not very engaging at times. And that's, I don't think, very many people's fault or anything like that. I'm not trying to shame play styles or tear anyone down. I just think that the matchup can be like fairly uninteractive at times. And so when you go from not playing any melee into like, oh my gosh, this Puff has just double jump back aired like 6 times or whatever, it can be hard to keep focused, stay engaged, have clean tech skill because your mind is drifting, all of these things. And these aren't excuses. I'm just kind of relaying to you guys what's going through my mind at the time, and trying to explain maybe the obstacle to you, so that not only I can try to improve and get better at dealing with those thoughts, but also maybe it can provide some perspective for you guys, and maybe you feel similarly at times, and just know that like it's not an excuse to if you see somebody quote unquote playing lame or whatever, what you perceive as lame, that's not a reason to disengage. It should be an opportunity for you to solve a new problem that maybe you haven't seen in a while. Or at least that's the mentality you have to try to have, especially when you're doing everything you can and everything in your power to try and win. In this matchup especially, like if you get lazy for literally a second, like you can very literally explode right away. Like I hate to say it, like I don't feel like, I watched the setback a couple times. I didn't feel like there was a whole lot for me to learn from it, other than like I clearly had this like lack of mental focus. Like there's so many things, a part of the game plan, that are important to remember, and I feel pretty good about, generally speaking. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at the matchup, but it's so clear to me that it's not a lack of matchup knowledge for me when I'm not doing well in the matchup. It's just like I have a lack of focus. I'll give you an example. So for example here, like Puff's at 120 something, we're down a whole stock trying to find a way to kill her, and like the whole next bit of time is just like Puff is like doing a very good job of milking their stock and trying to hang on to it, and trying to see if we'll make a mistake and go into the corner in a bad way or flub somehow. And like this is part of the matchup, right? There's not a whole lot you can do other than like try and look for your spot, not overextend, but not put zero pressure on them. And we literally die from just getting a little bit lazy and frankly bored. And that's not like a diss on anybody. I need to be better, more engaged, more focused, and realize that like for me to win this, I have to like play very carefully, and it's going to be a bit of a grind for a moment here. The way to win is not is not to disrespect Puff back air over and over again and hang out in this space where clearly like this is a threat, right? And so, you know, it's funny because most of the time I think if you had Puff in this spot like here, this is like pretty good, you know. She's off stage. Obviously Puff being off stage is a lot different than other characters, but it's better than her being in the center of the stage. I think if you like take the stock count out of it and the percent and you just look at this, like I'm not too upset, right? But I think at the moment it can be hard to be like, oh god, Jigglypuff double jump bearing, oh this is so, you know. I think the set was a little laggy at times. That's gonna happen. It's slippy. So maybe that's like getting in my head at the time, who knows. And so those are all like things that are you know, it's reality. And so but it's not an excuse for me to be like, okay, I can just start abandoning the game plan, getting lazy, trying to fight directly with like Puff back air. Like it's just not the way. So that's one example of me being, I think, a little disengaged and it clearly not going well for me. And so we managed to bring it to like, you know, a 1 stock deficit. And we managed to lose from, you know, up air, jab, reset, rest. And again, I think, or sorry, up air, up tilt, jab, reset, rest. Good tech trap on the Puff's part for sure. But again, like this is one of those things where I think if I'm like more focused, more engaged, I'm well aware of the game plan, or better aware of the game plan. And part of that game plan is trying to avoid fighting directly above Puff while we're above 19%. That's really important because up air knocks down. And so we get thrown into this mix-up hell that gets us killed if we're wrong. Or it'll just like, if this up air connects like here, I ended up being on the ground for it. But if it connected with us up here, we just die to up air rest. Of course, you know, we end up on the ground before this up air hits, but I just don't like that I'm putting myself in a position to like try and interact with Puff while I'm above her at 19%. Now, of course, this little like 3-piece here, like bear, up tilt, bear to the top plat. This is awesome. I love this. Like we're getting her really close to her own knockdown percent, and that'll be really good for us. This is pretty safe. I love what I did here. What I don't like is how I decided to directly come back down right away and give my opponent the opportunity to play really well to the percents and potentially get a kill for pretty much out of nothing. I think I would have preferred, like if I had my head on right here, I think I'm more likely to use the side plat to sort of exit the airspace above Puff, right? Where up air can be scary, and then find my way down with lasers, or maybe hang out here for a little bit longer and see what she does. Maybe she goes down right away and then we can find our way down, right? But I think like it's a bit lazy from me, and maybe like kind of let's just get this over with sort of mentality to just instantly fall down after that 3-piece and put myself at risk to something like this. So, you know, just another example of something I could have done better. So game 2, if you'll notice we're on FD right now. I think most Puff players will ban Yoshi's, and then they give you the option between like Stadium or one of the other stages. I think in a vacuum, I pick Stadium most of the time as a counter pick. But I felt in the moment, I'm not saying this is correct, but I think I felt in the moment that this Puff was really, really using platforms and trying to, like, you know, goad me into approaching at an unfavorable angle, and clearly could tell that I was being really impatient. And side plats are like a really good way to, you know, kind of avoid interaction directly with Falco on the ground. You can go on a side plat, get your double jumps back, delay neutral a little bit more, and then go play mix up later, or see if they'll, you know, the Falco will just do something, you know, not according to the game plan and give up their stock. So on FD, my hope was to kind of remove all that, right? No platforms. And I feel like the stage is actually really strong in the matchup, sometimes even better than Stadium. Puff is just like forced to land at some point, and once she's on the ground, she's like a much worse character in my opinion. So I like counterpicking FD depending on the day. I've even like lost on Yoshi's game 2 to a Puff. I think I played a set versus Dawson a while ago where I don't remember the exact set count, but I think I was down 0-2, lost the game 2 on Yoshi's, counterpicked FD, and ended up like winning the entire set on the momentum from winning on FD game 3. So I wouldn't say don't pick Yoshi's, but I'm just trying to reiterate the point that FD can be really good, depending on the Puff playstyle too. But I just wanted to show you really the end of the game, because I don't think there's that much. There's not a whole lot to learn again, other than like pointing out again the lack of focus and how it can be detrimental in a matchup like this. Like, the Puff is here, right? I like using the ledge for invincibility against Jigglypuff too, but if Puff's gonna be here, we don't have time to play this like refresh mix-up, right? Like, there's a chance we die. I think once I'm here and I see Jigglypuff here, it's got to be an instant ledge dash or like some other mix. I don't think trying to execution test ourselves with a frame perfect refresh versus a character who essentially can put themselves at 0 risk to punish it is a good idea. And like, it's obvious when I tell you now, but in the moment, that's something I need to be able to access to. And the fact that I couldn't, again, just shows that I'm not really proud of where my head was at during the set. And then, yeah, you could tell the set ends pretty quickly after that. Head is totally gone at this point, I think. And, like, not even in, like, a tilted way. Just, like, I really want to iterate. Like, this isn't... I'm not, like, pissed in the moment or anything. Maybe a little aggravated because we're losing, of course. But not, like, oh, my God, I hate Jigglypuff, blah, blah, blah. It's more so, like, oh, I was, like, ready to play some rank today, you know? Like, get some good games in. And then all of a sudden, like... I'm like down a stock to Jigglypuff who's like burning double jumps and using side plat a lot and gimping me on my stock. Like, it's not very, this is not what I was expecting to spend my day playing melee like, right? Or expecting my day playing melee to be like. So just wanted to reiterate that. And then, like, again, here's another example for you. Like, I don't know how often you should be putting yourself in this position as Falco, probably pretty infrequently. And getting back there and at 0 is just like, you know, this is icing on the cake, I think, in terms of focus, right? Like, it's pretty clear at this point. So I hate to be the guy that's like, oh, there's not I was just like not paying attention, blah, 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 Jigglypuff. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to acknowledge the reality of the situation, which was I know the Falco Puff game plan pretty well. I clearly am not following it, and I can remember from the moment not being that, not being very focused and letting my mind wander and not immediately locking in. So let it be a lesson to both me and you that, you know, rank, when you queue up rank, like, you don't know who you're going to run into. It could be anybody. So we lose our first set of the night. Kind of a tough way to start. Lose 1,000,000 points. That's how it's going to go. But, you know, we don't, you guys can already see how the session ends. We go on a 9-set winning streak, which is I think like a pretty good way to bounce back. You know, you have no choice but to think that way, right? Like, you can't, if you're trying to get better and you're trying to climb the ranking and whatever you want to do with melee, your mindset has to be, okay, I got beat up, I got knocked down, I can get back up. You know, what's the best I can make of the situation I'm in? And I think we certainly did that during this session. And so our next clip is from Falco Sheik, and I believe this is Fizzwiggle, I'm pretty sure. A lot tougher opponents this time around already. Like, we instantly are fighting 2 Grandmasters. But this clip isn't like, the punish isn't that great, but that's not really what I wanted to show. I just wanted to give an example of, if you guys have ever watched Ginger streams or his Sheik videos, he talks a lot about jamming versus Sheik at low percent, just jamming. And I think this is a really good example of it. If you watch this, like, this from the invincibility defense to when I eventually get this punish, like, it's just hyper aggression versus Sheik. Genuinely, like, I don't know how else to describe it. Punish wasn't great after. I don't think, like, this probably could have been better, but we played really good ledge or invincibility defense. Tried to get a shine, didn't work out. But again, like, Falco spawns with a glass cannon, right? She gets a really hard time opening up Falco pre-knockdown. Her only way to do it is really with grab, or to try and get him out of these percents with spaced aerials or needles. And so, like, I think too many Falcos, myself included, are not going aggro enough with this percent. We're not using our cannon before it disintegrates, right? So, like, I think this is just an example of me going in and jamming, right? So, like, we get hit for our ledge dash. We, like, try to go for running shine. We laser out of our shine when we see the roll, or excuse me, the wave dash out of shield. We go in again, go for a triple shine. It doesn't pan out. Sheik rolls out. We get another laser, do a dash dance mix up, cross up, get in there with a nair. Like, this is it's just pretty to watch. It's aggressive. It earns us an opening. I think it plays to the percents really well. I'd love to see myself and other Falcos do this versus Sheik more. And so this next Falco Sheik clip, there's a good bit of sharking, but that's not really what I wanted to show off. What I wanted to show was this edgeguard here. Dash, jump, shine, bear. it's pretty executionally demanding. I totally agree, but I don't see enough of you Falcos doing this. It's really good at these percents where down tilt won't kill. Lab monsters, correct me. I don't think, like, if you look at the Sheik's DI, it looks like Omsatech DI, so down and away. Even on Yoshi's, I think good DI at 109 won't kill. I could be wrong. Since I'm not sure, I go for this dash jump shine bear, and I think it's just like quote unquote optimal. I've seen other Falcos. I think Ginger's the main one who's done like, instead of dash jump, it'll be like a dash short hop, and then shine bear, and that's a little more easy to execute. I've never felt that way personally. I personally prefer dash jump shine bear. Maybe it depends on the spacing when he uses it versus how I'm doing it here, but either way, you should be using this more often, because a forward smash, if you forward smash here on regular get up, Sheik is just going to Omps attack. If you do like an up tilt of some, like a walk up tilt combo extension or running shine, wave shine, you don't necessarily have a guaranteed kill after. So I think this is one of those this is one of those options that will guarantee you a kill, as long as you execute well and they don't get some freaky SDI. Our next opponent is Guest Monster, I believe. Just back-to-back grandmasters. Tough way to start the session, but you know, you're gonna have to expect it when you're trying to climb the leaderboard, right? And so this clip, I'll let you watch through first. Nice combo, a little bomb soldier action. I just wanted to point out a couple things. The main being that, like, in this matchup, Falcons love jumping, right? They're like constantly jumping, whether it's short hop nair or like full hopping above you to try and stomp. And so if you can catch Falcon jumping with these high lasers, you're gonna find yourself taking their jump on occasion. I don't know if you recognize it the first time through watching, but it changes the dynamic of this whole punish. Now, I'll back up and start with the back air first. So this is interesting. It's a cool DI mix-up. I think a lot of people would expect to be hit by a strong back air here, and it's just, you give the visual indication that you're going to use a strong back air with how you're spacing and the aerial itself, right? But you hit with the weak part, and then if they're DIing in, they set up really well for your next move, right? Again, we know Falcon doesn't have a jump here. I think down smash would have comboed here, and it's arguably better. Honestly, objectively, it might be better here. The stock is just over. There's no like further DI mix-ups, so maybe that's something I could have done better here. Part of me thinks that Falcon maybe could have wiggled out and then air dodged maybe, or up B'd out of the back air, but it's hard to say for sure. I think maybe that's why I went for the up tilt, just because I wasn't that confident it would combo. Either way, I do think 99% of people are holding in at this point, right? They're like, please don't kill me, please, I need to stay on stage. A lot of Falcons in general, just like, they hold up and in, right? They're just always trying to survive, and so you'll get away with a lot of these. It's not even getting away with, it's just, I think you can lean on the DI in mix-ups a little more often, just because of how frequently they tend to DI, DI in, especially when they don't have a jump anymore. It probably has to do with Falcon's like generally poor recovery. Obviously, I don't think Falcon's recovery is as bad as people make it out to be, but without a jump, it can be pretty tough for Falcon to make it back at, you know, getting bared off stage at high percent. So I can understand why they might hold in here pretty often. But again, look out for these. Try to find these opportunities to high laser and catch Falcon jumps, whether, you know, even if it's just a short hop nair and then you laser them out of it and play the mix up after they take that laser, or the perfect, you know, I would love to even hit this laser out of their double jump. This would be even better, right? Because now you just get to do whatever you want, really. So this next clip, I just wanted to show an interesting punish route. Even before that, though, I would say look out for these sorts of double jump recoveries from Falcon. They love doing this, right? They'll double jump high and early and then try to hit with something on the way down. As long as you like space your bear properly, you'll often beat out Falcon aerials. Maybe could have done a more guaranteed edgeguard here, but we got the kill. So we play good invincibility defense, I'd like to say. Kind of present this full hop side B to top plat mix up, but then we fake them and go to the side plat instead, and maybe that's what the side, or the short hop was, kind of a response to where we were initially. We could even tell if we use like the ghost feature on our wing. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but And I don't know how useful this is truly, but it seems cool. You can see where roughly your character is, what position your opponent is reacting to, based on where you were, I guess. So like it's a little trippy at first, but this is where Falcon is reacting to me being at the time, and I think that's maybe why you could see the short hop starting, because you saw they saw me up there. So anyway, so we mix them up, go to side plat, get our shield up in time to cover this very common like full hop stomp on the side platform, get a shield drop shine. I'll just let you guys watch for a bit first. So ultimately we drop the punish. Like, oh Joey, why are you showing me this? You dropped the punish. It's like, yes, you're right, but I think there's some cool stuff we could learn from this, and kind of a unique position that I think a lot of people frankly screw up, and so I just want to talk about it. After the shield drop shine, you have a couple punish route options. You could opt to just start going for your wave shine, jump shine wave lands, and try to play the mix-ups up here. I think that's valid. Falcon's got his double jump and not very much percent on him, so like if I was a Falcon player, I might just like hold up and out here at this percent, or just be like wiggling up and trying to get high as I can to make this punish even harder to hit. So I think there's an argument for that. Maybe if you hit the wave shine on the left side, you could for sure cover all DI potentially. But I went the dare route instead and went for the edge cancel shine waveland. So I don't know how many of you have seen this. I forget where I stole it from, probably Kalindi combo video. But a lot of you, I would venture to argue, are daring here again, right? You'll hit the shield drop shine, hit this edge cancel dare, and then dare again here. And then the next hit, you won't combo into shine from there. There's a few reasons for that. I think a lot of the time it's just the percent. They're just like too low percent for how high this dare is hitting to combo. And I think it might have to do with knockback stacking too. Like, because they don't have the knockback stack from a shine before the dare, it won't combo into another shine. The guys nerdier than me can explain it better than I can, but I just know that if you go for dare, another dare, and then try to shine, it can be really hard to combo. They'll even SCI out some percentage of the time. It just doesn't tend to work out. And then you get grabbed somehow and you die, and it sucks from your own punish, right? So something you can do is dare fast fall. Try to hit this shine as low as you can, but before the Falcon becomes actionable out of the dare hit stun. And then waveland, ideally forward, like at an angle, right? So you have a little bit more you have a bit more leeway for this next downer, right? We'd prefer to be like here, I guess, but in this moment it didn't end up mattering. I think you're going to be able to combo most of the time anyway, regardless of how they DI. But so really interesting, right? It looks kind of cool. Feel free to steal it. It really only comes up with these sort of edge cancel situations at low percent, but a lot of people are not only dropping this punish, but getting reversaled in the spot. So give this a shot, practice it a little bit. And then right after that too, another cool thing, obviously Falcon hitting this SCI away, I believe if we were to shine right now, I think we can all agree it's probably going to miss, right? And this is where you see people like maybe down tilting or just grabbing here, or trying an up tilt and maybe it whiffs, or shining anyway and then getting grabbed for it. And here's another like Kalindi optimization. Shout out to KJH, doing a dash jump shine out of your dare so that you can reach them still. The dare has enough hit stun if you time it properly for you to get a dash jump shine waveland. Ideally, I didn't do it, unfortunately, but ideally you get a waveland out of it, and then you could totally follow up here and potentially kill the Falcon. So I think if I execute that waveland here, looks like if I'm looking at my inputs, shine, 1, 2. Oh, I input jump and air dodge on the same frame. I don't know if you could see that. My right bumper, my box's right bumper and the Y button get hit at the same time. So I believe the jump takes priority. Well, I guess I'm in shine, so it has to. I don't quite know how that works, but anyway, We mess it up. It sucks. But had we hit the Waveland, it would have been really clean. This would have been a really good punish. Just wanted to show you that. So for this next clip, I'll let you watch through first. Decent punish, good edgeguard. Let's start with saying how powerful Falco up tilt is. Never underestimate the power of this move. I do think maybe... I don't know. There's a million ways to punish it, of course. Like a dash chance grab here, or like you short hop and places Falcon, and then knee as a whiff punish, like to read that there's going to be another up tilt. There's a bunch of ways to punish it. I think in the moment, I recognize we were in some sort of like, I guess, scramble, you could say. It almost even hit this first one, but and generally speaking, I think just Falco up tilting in a scramble is a pretty good rule of thumb. Generally goes pretty well for you. It combos well. It's huge. Obviously can be whiff punished, but I think a pretty good rule of thumb to use in the scramble. It of course annihilates Nair here. I do think we get like a bit lucky. Like we hit Falcon between the hits. So, you know, maybe we get a little bit lucky, but I think up tilt's also just a massive move, so okay to spam. And then a decent punish. So if you look here, I think there's the mix-up happens right away, right? I think there's an argument to be had for just forward smashing here right away. Like literally the PPMD, right? Up tilt forward smash. And it would have been pretty good if you look at the Falcon's DI. I guess on the shine, it was like up in a way slightly. But definitely, certainly not in. And I think if you just like rip a forward smash here, there's a chance, you know, even Falcon at 60%. I know 60 seems kind of low, but it can lead to a kill sometimes on bad DI. So be willing to rip forward smash there sometimes. We go for the combo route instead. And again, like if you want to shine here, I think there's an argument to be had for wave landing here versus on the top platform. Top plat gives you easier to execute punish, I think, or easier to execute follow-up if they DI in, but wave landing here lets you cover all sorts of DI, so you have an argument. And then here's another opportunity for a mix-up. So it looks like Falcon DIs away here, if I'm not mistaken. Funny enough, Falcon looks like our opponent tried to swap to. I don't quite understand how this works, but I think it's whatever DI they're picking, like after, or like on the last frame of hit lag. I don't actually know exactly. I don't know exactly how it works, but certainly did not combo. This is maybe some like Falcon tried to hold in. It seems like you can see the inputs now are like up and in. So maybe we were correct in there and it just didn't pan out. This kind of looks like no DI to me. And maybe there's a world where we like somehow get a follow-up. I don't know. Maybe if we like don't fast fall the Nair and we like edge cancel, we can double jump aerial. That could work maybe. Or like start the Nair a little later. Or maybe this is a spot where instead of Nairing we back air. It can be a little hard because of how low Falcon is. Falcon's like here. I could understand back airing just because of how the hitbox positions, but we Nair. They end up here. And then this is the thing I wanted to point out was, again, being aware of these Falcons that love double jumping early to like kind of get back to stage and come down with an aerial, right? Like this goes from kind of a we didn't mix them up properly and we dropped the combo into, oh no, you're actually just dead. So watch out for these double jump aerials. Again, if they want to have the ledge, you know, if Falcon just wants to drop here, I don't think we can cover it. There's a world where we read it and then they go to ledge and then we kill them anyway. But I think a lot of the time, you know, what'll happen is you'll double jump like this, they'll fall to ledge, and then, you know, you don't get a kill or anything, but they're certainly not in a good position and you're safe. So I think I like generally covering the stage first before I get greedy and start trying to cover the more like conservative options going to the ledge rather than trying to get on stage. So, and then once Falcon's here, we know double jump's gone, right? So I instantly go out there expecting to see an up B and then catching Falcon at the top of it rather than standing on stage waiting for some sort of opportunity to mix their drift. Like, just go out there and kill him. You got to be more confident when you go out, or when you edge guard Captain Falcon. Just go out there. And that leads to us making this comeback too and winning the set. Who would have guessed a Fox clip on FD? I think Stone is typically a GM player, but Diamond at the time of this set, from what I remember, I could be wrong, but anyway. So I believe this is game 2 of the set, and we're up a game already. I said it before, I'll say it again. Sometimes I'm down to go to FD, you know, just based on how I'm feeling. And this combo at the very start of the game is all the reason I need, I think. So almost dropped it in the end by not getting to the ledge, but pretty nice combo. I'll start by mentioning this like laser at the beginning. If you notice, it's got a little bit of a delay to it, because a lot of Foxes like to run up, power shield, mash grab, and get their chain grab going, blah, blah, blah. And so if you can mix them with just like a slight delay in your laser timing, you'll absolutely cook their power shield grab attempt. They're going to try to grab anyway because they're just inputting it. The power shield doesn't happen, and then they get shined. So, and then you get your own combo. So it's kind of a little bit of an RPS here at the very start if you want to play aggressive. You don't have to. I think I've seen enough Foxes do it where I'm willing to send it sometimes, and it doesn't work out here, but we end up in a decent spot. And so let's start with the opener for the combo. Backflip into a dare is like one of the few ways you can actually combo dare at low percent. So if you watch it one more time, and we kind of hit it on the way down-ish. It's not a rising dare. It like doesn't hit Fox on the way up. It's kind of like at the peak of our jump, and so that's how it makes it more likely to combo. Normally, I don't love daring Fox at low percent. It often gets you punished somehow. But this is one of those ways you can use dare versus Fox at low percent. And of course, the KJH double dare. Very, very stylish, very powerful, I would say. Positioned and percent. It's the position and the percent for a double dare. Again, like lower percent, but not too low, right? So an aerial has been hit before the shine, or something is hit before the shine, and so we're at a percent where you can go for a double dare. Mess with their SCI a little bit, rack up some extra damage, and then we go for the mix. You haven't seen it, obviously. It was in the first game, but I did notice a good bit of DI away on some of my combos and just positions in general versus this Fox, and so I felt inclined to throw in this run crouch forward smash. And if you look at the Fox's DI, absolutely mixed, right? It feels so good when you hit this, and that's a dead Fox. These lasers maybe could have been better aimed. I could have done like run off, double jump, shoot 2 lasers kind of at like this height. But the DI was so bad it ended up not mattering. I would advise getting into the ledge a little bit sooner than I did, but it worked out in the end. Oh, finally a Luigi clip. Blue Luigi too. I believe this Luigi was Grandmaster, so pretty good. We've been running into so many good players this session. Definitely tougher than the last one. But I'll let you watch the clip first. Decent punish. Red Luigi just falling, goes off stage, drops the edge guard, but finishes it anyway. So a few things to talk about. I believe this was game 2 from the session. I could be wrong. Or from the set, excuse me. But I remember thinking like this Luigi loves using side platform. Like absolutely adores it. I mean, every single time they were in this position, it was like, oh, can I jump to the platform somehow? Even out of this laser, they tried to double jump. And so you can go about that in a couple ways. Like if Luigi's are really using side platform and just camping it, frankly, you can use your own platform and try to kind of camp them back, use your lasers and not interact as well. Maybe stay off center and try to goad them into coming off the state or off the side platform and getting back to interacting and playing the game. Maybe with like feints forward and then coming backwards. If you're like scared of like truly interacting with some of the side plat stuff, I just went in a lot, and frankly, I probably shouldn't have. I don't know if this game ends like that. No, game 1 was a lot closer, and I think I just like fought a little too often around waveland off aerial mix-up spacings, so you don't have to go in as often as I did during this set, but when you do, it can lead to some big money. So, and again, like I wouldn't necessarily advise everything I'm doing all the time. I think typically it's preferable to low laser and try to like lay aerial Luigi wherever he's at, but it's important to be a dynamic melee player. Okay, everybody, dynamic. You have to adapt your option based on what your opponent is showing you, right? So when you, even though it's not something I would normally advise, this Luigi is jumping a lot. And so I tried to lead with a high laser to sort of catch a jump. And then I early aerialed to try and combo it rather than trying to maybe late aerial somebody I thought might just land in shield, right? Of course, doing what I did here can get you punished sometimes, but never adapting to your opponent is even more dangerous. So catching a jump out of the air too is like huge versus Luigi. His recovery is so much worse without it. So we hit an air shine, get some really good damage with fair. We know he doesn't have a jump right now. Excuse me. And so I just kind of expected the Luigi. A lot of them will, like, when they're up here, especially without a jump, they'll like try to drift away and then back in to try to like sweet spot or sweet spot. I guess their magna hands or just fall down and then up B. But honestly, sometimes they get kind of lazy and they just fall. maybe I could have certainly been hit here by a stomp or something, or not stomp, down air. So maybe not advisable what I did here. I think you could exchange this forward smash for just like a spaced back air, like turning my back and spacing the back air so that at worst it trades with a dare and then we still have a pretty decent edge guard. Alternatively, you could also wait for like some sort of air dodge and try to punish that. I think that's reasonable. This Luigi was doing it a lot too. But I went for my read. It worked out. I don't actually think I need to shoot this laser, but we shot it anyway. And then here's, I think, the most important part of the clip, okay? And that is, when you know Luigi's going to side B, or like you see them charging it up, this move has so much lag. Like, this Luigi isn't actionable, I think, until here after starting their side B from here. Like, this is a lot of time to be pretty much doing nothing. Obviously, they don't have a choice for covering off stage. It's Luigi. But it's an opportunity for you to hit a pretty easy edge guard. It's kind of like the Falcon up B clip we just looked at, where you want to go out there at a timing earlier than you think and just wait for this hitbox to come out. And then as he falls, this is just all vulnerable Luigi for you to double jump down there and kill. Now, guy like me, you know, do as I say, not as I do. I definitely bailed here for some reason. I think I was trying to land on stage even though I didn't have to out of the dare. Like, I could just hold forward still and hit this double jump downer, and that's a dead Luigi. So I just wanted to show you guys an example of like where it would have just worked. It worked out anyway for me because Luigi recovery is really not, he has a tough time without his double jump. So we've got a diamond Marth. I know what you guys are thinking. Joey, why are we on FD versus Marth in a best of 3? Listen to me. The next clip will make it clear, but I'll say this to start. Generally, I feel that I have a better punish game on FD than a lot of Marth players. I don't plan on not banning FD versus Zane in a best of 3 if it ever comes up. I'll probably ban it versus him, but I have yet to feel like super uncomfortable on FD versus a lot of Marth. Sometimes I'll ban it still. Other times I'll ban another stage. But I think the neutral can be pretty like simplified on this stage, and honestly in Falco's favor. So if you can keep up punish wise, I think it can be a decent stage for you. So anyway, that's all I'll say on that for now. But this clip, the only thing I wanted to show was this situation. So I know kind of tough to see, but Marth all the way up here, we're on stage at a high percent. I think a lot of Falcos not only drop this edge guard, but get reversaled a lot of the time trying to make the edge guard work. And I understand it can be frustrating. Marth's at high percent. How do you kill him? He keeps holding in, and then he has like a million mix-ups that get you killed. But I just want to show you, give you an idea of something you can do here that not enough of you are doing. And I know it looks really simple, right? Oh, Joey, like, well, of course, you just back air a whiffed fair. Duh. I think a lot of you, myself included sometimes, are instantly going to ledge here and then like trying to make something work. And then they just kind of like drift away, wait for our ledge intangibility to run out, and then recover from below the stage. Or even worse, what'll happen sometimes is they'll drop down, see us on the ledge, double jump early, and all of a sudden Marth's here while we're like trying to jump from the ledge and hit them using our jump, and then they're here and we get hit by an aerial and somehow we die. So what I'm going to show you here is by no means a guaranteed edge guard every time. Of course, Marth could literally just grab ledge here and then they're fine. But the important thing to note is that I went for an option that kept me safe if I was wrong, and had the Marth in a still pretty favorable spot for us, right? Like, Marth just grabs ledge here, and we're here. Maybe we back up a little bit to avoid a ledge hop fair as they grab ledge. We see that happen. This is a pretty good spot versus Marth, generally speaking. Like, yeah, he's not dead and he survived another back here, but I think we're doing pretty okay in terms of the matchup, right? That's the worst case scenario with what I did here. The best case scenario is something like this happens. Marth gets greedy. Maybe they're getting a little uncomfortable, like at their percent, and us presenting like we're gonna go to ledge, right? I don't know if you spotted it, and maybe the Marth didn't. I might be overestimating how much they're looking at me in this spot, but I do a little baby waveland down. Kind of gives a visual of like, oh, they're moving towards the ledge, maybe like with a wave dash. It's hard to spot. I don't know how much thought the Marth put into it, but we certainly had the ability to go to ledge if we wanted to, and that might prompt this sort of response from a Marth, and we just like play the little game of chicken and whiff punish them for doing that. So be willing to stand here a little bit more often, look for the Marth to double jump aerial here greedily, and be ready to punish it. Okay, in this clip, it's more a neutral situation I wanted to show you rather than like the punish itself, because I do end up dropping this. So if I back up here, I know what you guys are thinking, like, oh, you're just shooting lasers in place, it's so lame, you're camping this Marth, blah, blah, blah. And to that, I'll ask you this question. Which one of us is planning and looking for an approach forward, a timing to go forward, a mix up, you know, an aggressive option? And which one of us is kind of just putting hitboxes out in place, hoping that our opponent hands us an opening, right? I'm not going to give you the answer to that. I think you guys have eyes and you can tell. I'll let you make a decision on that. You know, if you can spot these opportunities where Marth is like clearly just kind of like throwing hitboxes out and saying, please run into this, please. If you can not laser camp. I'm being really clear here. These aren't like 4 or 5 of the exact same lasers in a row. The people that look at this clip and say, you know, oh, Falco's camping, blah, blah, blah. Truly, they just don't know what they're talking about. Like, these lasers are all different. They all provide their own mix-up, their own like opportunity to move forward that the Marth has to respect to some degree, and that's why you see this like this forward tilt, this half, this haphazard. That's not the word you should use. Sorry, this I guess half-hearted attempt to power shield this laser, and they can't because of the angle I picked. And then they're like, oh gosh, I guess I'll jump out of shield and try to like fair them. Oh, they lasered me. I'm gonna take laser fair, and we have just perfectly like chef's kiss spacing punish this fair with a late aerial. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So if you're a Falco player and you know you're trying to shoot lasers like this and somebody's like, oh, you're camping, show them this clip and ask them to tell you you know, what's the difference between these lasers. And obviously they probably won't be able to, and you've checkmated them in the marketplace of ideas. But let me talk about them really quick one more time. So this first laser is kind of just like to give us space, right? I think if you shoot this laser in place here, there's a chance Marth just yellows another dash attack at you here and you die, right? And he even moves forward. I don't know if that was a forward smash I saw get started up. Let's watch it one more time. It looks like he was just wave dashing, so who knows? Yeah, it looks like maybe they were just wave dashing to a forward tilt or something, or trying to dash attack. Who knows? Yeah, maybe it was a dash attack. I don't know. It looks like a forward tilt. They forward tilt. The point being, though, we create some space for ourselves to get this first laser out. So then now we have a little bit of control, right? There's some stability. Sure, we've given up a little bit of space, but Falco would much rather have the control and the stability than the space a lot of the time, okay? Not every time, I'm just saying. You'd rather have the stability. And so it gives us the opportunity to set up our next laser, whether it be in place or approaching. That's where the mix-up is. Marth trying to forward tilt out of his laser stun, it's kind of scary for him. This laser goes high in case like there was a power shield or a jump. That high laser kind of is the rock to those the scissors in that situation. Not exactly, but it's a pretty good, I think, mix-up given what the Marth is trying to do, right? I think it's fair to say a high laser would be powerful versus a power shield attempt or a jump. And then this next laser is truly unpower shieldable, and that's why you see it go like that. And so Marth at this point is like, whoa, what's going on? Like, look at the Marth player for a second, guys. Truly, look at them. Like, they're like, please, something hit, please. Dash attack, forward tilt, power shield, whiff, jump fair. Like, they are like absolutely panicking. So you can set up these sort of like, you can kind of put them off balance with these very laser timings and heights. And then you'll find that you'll get these opportunities to play aggressive. Even like the timing of the lasers is slightly different too, just slightly. And so I think what's happening here is I'm looking for an opportunity to go in. And as soon as I spot like a jump, right? It's like, okay, Marths love take laser fair. They are addicted to take laser fair. They absolutely can't stop take laser fairing for good reason. It's a good mix up. But if you can spot it, right? They jump, you laser them. And just, this is admittedly like pretty close. Like, this almost went pretty wrong for us, but like, this is how confident I was in whiff punishing. And again, like I said it earlier, it's pretty hard to combo dare at low percent, not only versus Fox, but any character. This is one of the ways to do it, right? Either with like that backflip spacing I did versus the Fox, or this late dare timing. And it's really good, man. It's like really good. It leads into the shine, into this whole pillar. We dropped the combo, and I'll give you guys a hint why. I mean, I won't even give you, I'll just explain it. We just wave shine the wrong way. I think I was expecting them to be on the left side here. And if you look at it frame by frame, yeah, like even this still looks like they're on the left side. I don't know. But anyway, because they're essentially on the right side of me at this point. Here, I'll pause it and give you a little picture. Because they're on the right side of my ECB, I think is how it works, right? They're on this side. The shine hits, and their trajectory for their DI looks like this. And I was expecting them to be on the left side of me, which would give me like a DI trajectory. Probably looks more like that, right? Somewhere in this range. And that's why I wave shine forward. So basically all this is I misjudged which side he was going to be on. And so we wave shine the wrong direction. But had we wave shine the correct direction, this is continuing to be a really juicy punish off a really nice neutral opening. Okay, next clip. I think another GM Fox. And I know what you guys are thinking. Joey, we're on FD again. What's your deal? I've got no explanation. Honestly, I might have an FD problem. Oh, actually, I think for this particular person, now that I think about it, they were like very platform full hop heavy, and I just kind of like the puff reasoning I gave earlier. I wanted to interact, and I felt confident in playing around their mix-ups that didn't involve a platform. So I think I was okay with leaving the stage open. But this clip is just like a series of DI mixes I wanted to show. So this very first one, here's one of the full hops getting punished, by the way. I think we've talked about the up tilt versus full hop nair before. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Kind of like that weak bear versus Falcon. This one's a little different just because we're hitting with a later part of the strong hitbox. Like there is no, like, it doesn't get weaker as the hitbox is out, but it just changes into a weak version of the hitbox when it's been out for long enough. I think the Falcon combo was like we hit with the front part, which is like always weak, but the strong bear hitbox eventually becomes a weak hitbox. And we give this visual of like, oh, we're going to strong back air Fox off stage. And it kind of like trips up the DI a little bit. If you look at the Fox's DI, starts to hold away at first. And they go, oh, I don't want to get back air. They're like positioned for a back air. So hold in, and then that positions well for this forward smash. So again, a mix up. They could have held out and it wouldn't have comboed, but it leads to this like decent edge guard opportunity, I think. And then we go through invincibility defense. We get another opportunity to combo. We drop our pressure, but I think this is the part I wanted to show you. So again, like just sticking with these mix-ups, we convinced the Fox we got them to hold in on the last combo, right? And so as a Falco player, you have to be thinking, okay, what did I hit him with last time? And do I think they're the type of person to like try and swap up their DI, or are they going to be kind of hard-headed and continue to hold in, right? You could go forever on which one is like, there is no correct decision, right? You could go on the mix-ups could go on forever, the mind games. But I think it was reasonable for me to be like, okay, I did a DI in mix up last time. I think this person's going to hold out, and we just rip a run crouch forward smash. I know it's simple, but you know, when you pair it with the idea of DI mix-ups and you show off the other clip that literally happened the stock before, I think this forward smash looks a lot more impressive. So like if you look at their stick too, they're just like literally like rolling the stick around hoping to get out of the combo somehow. Probably trying to SCI actually in that specific spot maybe, or wiggling out, I don't know. But we mix them. And then fast forward, we don't get a kill off this next mix-up, but I just wanted to show you the power of layering, like the layer of these mix-ups, right? It's like, okay, I got you to DI in. Oh, I punish you for DIing out. And now, like, when that person gets hit again, this guy's like, oh, now what am I supposed to do? Hold out, hold in? I don't know anymore. And so we went from guessing they would hold in correctly to guessing they'd hold out correctly. What do you guys think is going to happen next? It could be anything, right? I think in the moment, I'm thinking, okay, they're just flip-flopping every opportunity I get. And so I guess they would hold in here. And that's why instead of doing the run crouch forward smash, I did a jump shine, double jump out, and then tried to extend this combo here. Now, I mess up the execution. You're supposed to hit this dare a lot later. I hit the button too early. I don't know what I was thinking. But had I timed this dare a little bit better, we just get to extend the combo here, right? And then they're just, once again, in mix-up hell. Like, this position looks a lot similar to the run crouch forward smash position we just saw here, right? Like, it looks pretty similar. This is the previous stock. So obviously I dropped the punish here, but I just wanted to point out like the power of being able to go back and forth and be aware of all your mix-ups and how you can essentially make your opponent panic with their defense, right? And lead to more kills. And the last couple of clips are from the last set of the session. I don't know who the Marth player is, but they're Grandmaster Marth, pretty good. This is literally the first interaction, I think, of the set. But I'll let you watch through first. Yeah, it looks pretty simple, but I think some key concepts in it that I want to talk about. The first being laser grab, or just going for grabs at low percent versus Marth, right? I think I mentioned it in the last rank review episode. You guys need to grab Marth more. You need to grab everybody more at these low percents. It's really good to sort of unlock percent for your other moves. Like, it can be kind of hard to combo aerials at lower percent unless the certain conditions are met. And so grab is just a nice way to like rack up a little damage. Sometimes even combo into a move. I don't think this up throw is ever going to true combo, but you'll notice that like I forced the Marth to sort of play this little mini game of chicken and put themselves in some sort of uncomfortable position. So had they just continued to fall, the short up air, gives me a little bit of damage, some more positional advantage, potentially leads to more mix-ups, more damage. And so I think rightfully so, this Marth double jumps out. There's maybe you could side B here instead of double jumping out, and that leads to some other mix-ups, but this Marth decides to double jump out. And so I'm still safe. Nothing's happened to me, right? I haven't overextended with a full hop aerial or anything like that and potentially gotten reversaled. I just hit them if they did something greedy, right? Like just falling. And so they choose to double jump out. And now Marth burned a resource and we're still safe. And so he has to eat some sort of mix-up on the way down. We've seen this time and time again in the other clips. I think like the Luigi and the Falcon one. If you could just like space an aerial here, like a back air here on their way down, you can compete really well with the hitboxes people have. It looks like the Marth tries to fair. They do it pretty late. They maybe could have started it earlier, and it might have beaten us before we could back air, but it's a mix-up. If we just shield the fair and they fair now, we're just shielding, we get like a free shine out of shield. But we get all this like bear, up tilt, bear, forward smash. Like, it looks like a pretty simple combo. But I just want to point out the priority here, and I mentioned this in the last rank review too, is keeping the Marth over here, right? We want him over here, not over here. And so a lot of people, I think, they might even make it to this position and then like shine here. Or maybe they do this up tilt and then they do a shine. Or another up tilt or something, and you give Marth the opportunity, if you look at the DI, to get back to center. And I just do these like up, out sort of combo moves, right? So back air, push, up tilt, so that we can continue the combo. I think if they DI in here, they still don't get across to the center of the stage. And instead of like shining or up tilting here and giving them the opportunity to DI this way, we push out again, right? Remember, Marth has no double jump. So I think it's fair to expect them to do a fair bit of DI in here. And then we go for like, okay, fine. We've racked up enough damage. They have no double jump. Let's just push them off stage as far as we can with the forward smash. Grab ledge at a good timing, right? We didn't go super early here. I didn't grab now. And then like roll up early, let them side B and then up B, right? We grabbed as late as we possibly could to maximize ledge intangibility. But not so late that we give the Marth the opportunity to reversal us or get to ledge. So yeah, all in all, a really good clip. I'll let you watch one more time. Remember, all this came from a grab, right? Kind of innocuous. I know, oh, Falco grabs are so bad, blah, blah, blah. Show them this clip. And so this next clip is not something good. I just want to give you guys an example of why it's so important to keep your shield pressure simple and brief, right? So if you look here, and, you know, there's a no shot against this Marth player, or any Marth player. I think it's reasonable to do what this Marth player did here. Grab is just really good as Marth. The risk reward is really favorable for you, generally speaking. Even just like shield grabbing in a vacuum, right? Can work out really well in your favor. But what that means for Falco players is we have to punish it. We have to be willing and capable of covering these options that are kind of greedy, right? Like, we didn't high aerial this Marth shield and somehow it gets away with this shield grab. I know you're thinking like, oh, Falco, like shield pressure bad, blah, blah, blah. No. If you break this down frame by frame. So I like we did this approaching laser here, and we positioned ourselves as a shine. And I think the light shield's kind of irrelevant here, so I wouldn't pay attention to it too much. They like switch back and forth, and I can't tell what part. It looks like the shine is hitting the light shield, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. But I think the important part for me is that the mistake I made was not that I put myself in a position to get shield grabbed or whatever. Like, it's not that I shouldn't have been pressuring them shielding or light shielding or whatever. It's like what kind of shield pressure I did. I did laser shine, short hop into nothing, right? So shine, and there's a million and one ways to punish this shield grab, right? If we execute properly. But I did some sort of greedy, complex shield pressure. Maybe I was going to do like a late aerial or a laser shine or something. All I had to do was one of three things. Shine, wave dash away. And yes, I know, before you nerds do the math for me and prove that, yes, you can get shield grab for wave shining away from Marth if you're facing him. It's pretty frame tight for them to do that and get away with it. They'd essentially have to be reading the timing they're going to get shined with. I'm not mega worried about getting shield grabbed in that spot. And side note, if you're facing away from Marth when you wave shine away from him, you can never get shield grabbed because you're leaning away rather than towards him. Not to get too nerdy, but anyway, don't worry about it. Go for single wave shine back. If you get shield grabbed, sometimes they're going to get perfectly lucky on occasion, sure. So I want you to do that or double shine. Had I double shined here, this Marth gets absolutely cooked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be hitting another shine here. I could have even done it late, and I would have punished a shield grab. So we could have done that, or just shine grab, man. You could just shine grab here, and you get to him before he grabs you. So a lesson in keeping your shield pressure simple and brief. So the last clip or so I have for the rank review is game 3 on FD versus Marth. Again, we didn't ban FD. Do with that information what you want. I think I like FD in the matchup, and I mentioned it earlier. I foreshadowed it. There's a great part of the clip here that demonstrates why I like the stage in this matchup. But you know, we're kind of under the wire. I barely clutch out game 2. I know I didn't show it, but I barely survived an edgeguard and managed to clutch up. So now it's game 3. We've won 8 out of the 9 sets we've played so far. And if we win this game, we end the session with a perfect run of 9 sets in a row after losing a pretty tough set 1, right? So it'd be pretty big. Here we are, game 3 versus Marth on FD. And I know a little bit of spoilers. You can obviously I won the set, but even how the game goes, pretty well in our favor. So anyway, here's the clip. The first thing I wanted to say was, actually, I have a few clips here from this game. watch out for these Marths that are like, they're just kind of grabbing sometimes. Like, I get there's a bit of a reason to here. Maybe you power shielded and it worked out, but Marths, some of them just be grabbing, and it's not meant to be like oh, they're so cringe for just grabbing all the time, blah blah blah. You are cringe if you don't punish them for it. How about that? Okay, so be ready, be on the lookout. Don't dash back here and shoot another laser in these positions. Okay, play aggressive, punish them when this sort of thing comes up. So we get this pillar. I think this one looks good. This one I could have timed better, and it's tough to tell an R-wing, so I won't quiz you on it. But the reason I messed this one up, I think, the issue with the execution of this pillar is that if you look at my inputs, I full hop, double jump, like right here. It's hard to see. I'll put it in here. Here's it in full speed or regular speed. See if you can try and catch that bit of a double jump. And I think it just makes it so I hit this dare a little earlier than I'd like to. And you can see I'm on the way up now. And because we're around the ledge, the execution has to be even cleaner. So I think if we just full hop, timed our dare properly so that we can fall with Marth and get a down smash here and have a pretty decent edge guard, I think is ideal. But we messed up the execution. It's okay. Happens. We don't overextend. I kind of back up here. It very well could have gone poorly for us, but I backed up enough, I think. Get a read on the Marth jumping out of shield. And then this is the thing I wanted to show you. I don't want to talk about the rest of the edge guard. There's a few things you could talk about here. Like maybe I could just drop Shine Bear here, and there's an argument for that. Probably should have, in all honesty, or even just double jump Rising Dared right now. I don't know. There's a few different edge guard things I could have done differently. But something I wanted to show you guys. For those of you who are on box or use Hobby Claw, I don't know if there's any of you left, but if there are any Hobby Clawers out there, there's a special edge guard you can do. And actually, if you're a GCC player, you could swap to Hobby Claw for this exact edge guard. I would be impressed to see it, but you could do it. If you look at my inputs here, I know it looks like it looks kind of weird, right? I do this like regular get up shine for a little bit, like I stall in my shine, and then I down smash out of it. What's going on here? So if you've ever seen, I don't remember if Ginger has a video of it. He's definitely talked about it. But there's this down smash, continue to hold down, ASCI down the up B, down smash edge guard. You can't CC the Marth up B and down smash here because we're too low percent. We'll get Sakurai angled. I'm not going to explain what that is right now. I don't even understand the exact math behind it. I'm sure there's some other YouTube videos explaining it. Go ahead and look those up if you want. But I believe it's 12%. You have to ASCI down. Once you're at 13, I think you can go back to regular crouch cancel into down smash. But so what a lot of Falcos will do, the better ones, they'll check their percent here. And they'll go, oh, I'm at 10%. I can't CC down smash. I have to ASCI down smash. There's some swag ways to do it. You could use you could do taunt, hold down, and then do the down smash. It's a little easier with Fox, I think, because his taunt like crouches him. He like leans back. Falco just spins, and I think there's a chance it misses. Don't do the taunt version. You should down smash preemptively early, because there's a chance you hit them for up being early anyway. And then after you've down smashed with, you hit the C stick, continue to hold down with the gray, or hold down with the gray stick, and then on reaction to them up being and hitting you, hit the C stick. Don't mash it. You're gonna mess up the timing sometimes. On reaction to you getting up bead, use the C stick and down smash. Okay, you almost like double down smash, as strange as that sounds. Take some practice, but it's pretty good. But I know what you're thinking, Joey, you didn't down smash here. You shine down smash. Explain that. And maybe I should have explained things in a different order. Apologies. Unscripted. It's kind of the point of these videos. But I shine stall. And the reason for that is this is an option select you can do. So I want you to look at my inputs first. I regular get up, shine, and if you look at, I'm the red controller over here. I'm holding down the B button. I'm shine stalling on the ground. Shout out to Ginger, by the way, for discovering this or pointing it out to me. I don't know if he took it from someone else, but I think he maybe theory crafted it and then told me about it. I don't quite remember. It was so long ago. But as I'm shine stalling, so I'm holding down on the gray stick. I'm ASCIing down. I react to getting hit by the up B and then hit the C stick down, right? So I get the down smash. But did you catch that? What's happening with my X button? So after I input down on the C stick, I option select a jump. So in case I don't get hit by the up B, they sweet spot their up B, you'll just full hop out of the shine and be safe to like a ledge hop aerial, okay? Because what'll happen is, the problem with just doing the regular down smash is if your second down smash misses, because they sweet spot or something, you're just in down smash leg by the ledge. And sometimes it doesn't matter. You're at like a %, or it doesn't matter, or you DI'd, or maybe they're slow to get off the ledge. Sometimes it doesn't matter, and it's worth taking the risk because you might get the kill. But what'll happen is, sometimes you'll get reversaled. And so if you do this option select where you jump out, you always hit the C stick, by the way. So even if they don't hit you, nothing happens if you hit the C stick while shine stalling. So you'll input down on the C stick if they don't hit you, they sweet spot. Then you hit the jump button and you'll jump out of the shine. They'll think they can reversal you because they've done it so many times to Falco's by the ledge after recovery. You'll be coming down out of your full hop. They'll probably have like whiffed an up air or fair and air, and then you can come down and hit them, or just drift towards the stage and go back to playing neutral. So tiny option select, pretty interesting, kind of cool. A little niche, but I think worth pointing out. It's one of those things that like you do it once and you're like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And again, it's also one of those things that like I've never seen another person do ever on the planet ever. I'm sure you could go back in the VODs and see Javi doing it with Javi Claw or something. I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. I just wanted to share it. And then the other thing I wanted to share is this here. So just watch this punish. Down or shine, boom, down smash. Marth's jump went somewhere during that combo. I don't know when. But remember how I said earlier, like, I don't know, guys, FD, I feel like my punish is better than the Marth sometimes, you know? Maybe not like task melee, but, you know, in the real world, I can play good defense, right? Good ledge invincibility. Try to get a punish maybe with this jump shine. It doesn't work out. It's okay. We go for this like falling laser mix up, right? Because they're expecting to dash dance, grab an aerial, but we mix them with this laser. They're just grabbing, of course. It's bad on me. I shouldn't be shining this far away. I should know it's going to miss. So we give up a grab, right? But with good slight DI, Marth will drop the combo. I promise. It's going to happen, especially in tournament, high tense situations. This guy's already down a stock, game 3, right? And if you get really good at it, you can time this shine with your slight DI. And I don't know if it's a knockback stack or what, but at certain percents, this seems a little early, to be honest, for this to work. I feel like they usually have to be a little bit higher percent, but you can, if you time this properly, this like shine out, double jump out, dare them down, you can start your own pillar. It's kind of cool. Your own punish from their punish. So, you know, next time somebody says, oh, you're going to leave FD open versus Marth, show them this clip. Not saying it's always correct, but... So I do think Marth maybe could have double jumped out here. Is he down airing? Looks like a down air attempt. Fair also would have gotten shined. 1, 2, 3. Probably could have double jumped out, but the thing is, like, you're still safe, right? They like double jump out, you shine, and then you wave shine, and then there's a double jump list of Marth above you. Sure, you don't get a full combo like this, but you're still in a pretty good spot from their punish, right? From their dropped grab. And then you have this clean pillar down smash. So I think I mentioned it in another matchup in the last video, but if you've got somebody here and hit stun by the ledge, you should probably just down smash them. Like, the trajectory is so good. And I think even if the Marth did have their double jumps, I think we have like a pretty good edge guard here, like a pretty easy edge guard to hit. At least like more damage to be had and the opportunity to kill them. So I'll let you watch it one more time. Yeah, looks really good. Hit the pillar properly this time. Nice. And then the last bit of the entire ranked review is this, the ending here. Wow, looks so good. So let's back it up here a little bit. So we get grabbed in the corner here. That sucks. mix up our recovery really well. We hit him with the donut laser, for those of you who haven't seen this before. Single laser from ledge, re-grab ledge. And Marth's like, what the heck? I think they're all kind of expecting a double laser here, right? If I showed you this, you'd think the Falco's double lasering, right? And is like gonna get hit by like a take laser fair, right? And listen, I'm not gonna advise anyone try the donut laser, okay? Especially game 3 with a Marth unranked. But I mean, I don't know. I see this stock count and I thought it's maybe worth it. Well, why don't we give it a shot, you know? I again wouldn't necessarily advise it, but we trick them a little bit, get back to center. And I just wanted to show you this bit of neutral into this combo. Wow, I didn't even realize it was a 4-sock. Oh, well, duh, I guess the 4-sock icons are gone, but kind of fun to 4-sock a Marth on FD game 3, you know, last game of the session. But remember what I said earlier about these Marths that are just kind of like mash and grab? Keep your shield pressure simple. Single wave shine. Now, what's funny is, I don't think this is supposed to work, like wave shining through. But neither is single wave shine away either. Was he slow? Let's look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I think we were just like so deep in his shield that it made wave shining through better. And funny enough, I think we could have hit the shine button a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. They got their shield up in time. So we wave shine through, right? Had we done some complex like laser shine or shine, short hop, late aerial pressure, we get shield grab here, you know, and that sucks. But instead, we mix them. And we get a nice, look, again, up throw, pretty good. It doesn't always combo into kill moves, but again, it can go well for you, even when it's not like a true combo. And then we get a nice DI mix of Strong Bear Dare. So just wanted to show you guys that too. And that's episode 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the ranked review. Let me know if you want me to mix it up, maybe look at one game in its entirety, something like that. I'm open to suggestions. I just want to share my experience playing ranked. It's kind of fun, to be honest. It's giving me a motivation to play the game again in a competitive way. It's kind of tough when you're not traveling to tournaments to get yourself to try to improve. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any feedback. Let me know if this depth is needed. Sometimes I get into the weeds a little bit, but I'm just giving you guys my thought process as if I was like, how I'm talking to you is exactly how I'd be talking to myself if I was analyzing these replays alone, not recording them. So let me know what you think.